Good afternoon, this is Robin Bieber on the European Midday Roundup and Good Morning America Chart Talk on the 26th of June at 12 o'clock in the morning London time. The chart in front of us is August 60-minute Brent, and the activity today is in this dark shaded area, but more of that in a minute. Brief recap. Yesterday morning, early on, the market was under serious pressure and breaching its 21-day moving average. Within a matter of hours, it had run back over the 21-day moving average, narrowed the 5-day gap, which was as wide as $3 a barrel on RBOB early yesterday morning, and ran up. And last night, WTI, Brent and gas oil closed over the 21-day moving average and the 13-day moving average and was sniffing around its 5 and 8-day moving averages as resistance, which is what it's done this morning and maintained that. Heat and RBOB were above the 21s and they're running up to their 13s and testing that. The key today, the absolute key on what happens, on whether there's any further upside, is what WTI, Brent and gas oil do at their 5 and 8s and what heat and RBOB does at the 13s. There's no question that yesterday morning must look like a bear trap to those who are caught short. The only question is whether it's sustainable and we're going to kick in with the uptrend again. And that will only be determined at the 5 and 8-day moving averages on the crudes and gas oil, and to a degree at the 13-day moving average on the products. So now moving on, here's the August 60-minute chart. We can see it's holding on to its gains and it's trying to push a little bit higher, but under some pressure, so don't be surprised by a little bit of a wobble. And this is true of RBOB, but very thin, so be careful of this. It's suggesting a little bit of weakness as we go into the New York Open, but I wouldn't bet a huge amount on that. Now if we just move on to the crudes firstly, WTI. Here's August WTI. We'll make it a little bit bigger. Here, running up to the 5 and 8s between 39.25 and 39.37, we've got a high at 39.35. The uptrend is on hold unless we punch over the 5-day at 39.37, whereupon we can expect a move to 40.69. The down move is on hold whilst it's holding the 13-day at 38.68 and indeed the 21-day at 38.30. It's held on the dip and recovered. Now the question is there any more recovery? The 5 and 8s will have the clues, have the answers to the questions rather. And this bearishly diverging stochastic is a worry. Brent is exactly the same. It's run up to the 5 and 8s, which come in today at 41.63 to 72. We've made a high at 41.81. We need to get over 41.72 area, the 5-day moving average, to be pushing higher to 43.41 and to a degree reinstating the uptrend. Meanwhile, the 13-day moving average at 40.98 is holding us, and there's no downside unless we move and close below the 21-day around 40.59. Heating oil, not quite as strong, and nor is RBOB. It's run up to the 13-day here at 116.66. Its high's been 116.85. It's got to get over the 13-day to put it in a position to test the 5 and 8 days. And the 8-day is the highest at 118.55, and it needs to move and close over there to be really reinstating the uptrend and upside momentum. But staying over the 13, if it can do it, would be positive. Negative stochastic doesn't help, and there's no downside whilst it's above the 21-day at 113.76. RBOB, pretty much similar. Run up to the 13-day at 121.23. Its high's been 121.41. It's just below there. If we can get over 121.25 area, that will be important because it will show further upside to around the 124 level, and it would suggest that the uptrend is trying to kick back in. And as such, 121.25 is maintained as the single most important resistance on the board. Over there, and the market starts to look frisky for early next week. Below the 21-day at 118.62 to the 118.38 area, the 21-day moving average, both of them come in there, and that would be bad news if that's closed below, and it would put this contract and the rest of the complex on the back foot. So watch the 21s on any dip. Gas oil's over the 13-day, coming in around 347 area, and whilst it's in that position, it's going to test the 5 and 8s between 354.75 and 355.25. Only a move over the 5 and 8s here would suggest more upside. To recap, the moving averages are where the action's going to be today. WTI, Brent and gas oil have got to move and close over their 5 and 8s to give it further upside for the early next week, and they must not close back below their 13 and 21-day moving average, or the market will look wobbly. In Heat and RBOB's case, it must get over the 13-day moving average to be joining in the crudes and gas oil. There's upside potential. There's a danger of a bear trap yesterday, but this is not confirmed yet. We need to get these. We need to take out some of these moving averages. Now, if we just look at front-end structure, particularly the Org SEP on Brent is looking stable. It's holding above the -5 level, and the SEPOC is looking pretty good. It's performed well, and it looks like it's going to go and retest +2 and move into backwardation. Both the 1 hourly charts for these two spreads, Org SEP and SEPOC, look constructive. WTI also looking stable, got a little bit more work to do on both these spreads. They're dealing with the 5 and 8 day moving averages like the flat price. But if the Org SEP can move over -16 and the SEPOC over -14, we're going to be looking for a little bit more upside, and the hourly charts are saying exactly the same thing. The WTI DEC Red DEC is testing its 8 day at 121. It looks like it wants to push a little bit higher up to the -112 level, and that's where the problems begin, the 5 day moving average, but it's looking like it's trying to push higher. And the DEC Red DEC on Brent running into trouble at the 8 day at -211. It's got the 5 day to deal with at -205. This area from -211 to 205 is a little bit of a problem, but if it can close over, it gives it upside to around about -150. And it looks like the hourly chart on the left here is trying to be supportive and push this spread a little bit higher. That's all for today, folks. Good luck, good trading, and bon appetit.